Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new Commonwealth Super Welterweight Champion. It is, of course, Mr. Sam Gilley. Sam, welcome back on the show, my man.
Thanks for having me back on, mate.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, Sam. So, wow, oh wow. I still can't believe the fight the other night. You become Commonwealth Champion. You dethrone Louis Greene. Talk me through what will go down as a York Hall classic, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched it back, and I don't actually remember it being like that, but yeah, it was a great fight, and Louis is a fantastic champion. Fair play to him, but yeah, I'm still hurting now. Like the next day, I could barely get out of bed, and yeah, I've only just started. I'm just getting like I can move freely a little bit more now, but yeah, for a couple of days. I've been in absolute pieces, but yeah, a fight that went down as a York Hall classic.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I was going to ask you as well if you watched it back. You said you did, which is really good. I just want to kind of briefly run through a few of the rounds. The first round, I thought you were on your way to winning that one until you got caught late on in the round. I think it's fair to say that the bell probably came at a good time just to get a little rest in. But yeah, it's a bit of a wild first round, Sam.
Well, the first round, I just wanted to, because obviously, listen, everyone talks about how hard he can punch and stuff like that. So I wanted to feel something just to gauge how hard it was. But I didn't expect him to hit me in my legs to go. You know, I mean, it was the first time in my career I've had a reaction out of my legs when I've been punched. So that was like a whoa, I've got to be careful here, do you know what I mean? So that was, I mean, yeah, it was a wake-up call, but, I mean, it didn't really change too much in the fight because it was it was going back and forth the whole time, so it weren't like it changed much. I think that was the only way I could have boxed him. I think if I let him walk me down too much, I think that would just played into his favour. It looked like he was just on top of me too much, so I had to stand and go with him, which obviously means you're going to get caught, but, yeah, that first round was an eye-opener.
Yeah, and I think he's got that kind of deceptive strength because I look at him and he doesn't look like a super strong guy, but when I actually seen him in the ring, you know, he seemed really strong. Like he's got that kind of thudding power, but a lot of strength as well.
I mean, physically it weren't like, physically it was a normal strength. He was strong, but he weren't like, wow. But yeah, when he hit me, it was like a super middleweight hitting me. It was mad. It was, and the shot doesn't travel far. This is one thing he really surprised me with. Like when you watch him in videos, it looks like he swings the punches in, so you'd be able to see it a mile off. But when I was in there, it was more like he stabbed them through, and they travelled a short distance, so they was a little bit harder to time. Where he's so crouched over, and he almost points at the top of his head at you, like you can't really tell where he's going to throw a shot from. So he was really unorthodox as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was keeping my eyes on the in-play odds, and obviously you were the underdog going into the fight. But, yeah, when that shot landed in the first round, I think that, as you say, made your legs react. The bookies automatically expected, you know, Louis Greene to win by knockout. I think Sky interviewed some Louis Greene fans in the arena as well after that first round, and they were all saying, yeah, Greene knockout. I think they said round 8. I was a bit worried for you coming out in the second round, but to your credit, you boxed, I almost swore there, unbelievably good in the second round. Proper smart stuff behind the jab. I mean, I gave you rounds 2, 3, and 4, and then obviously that 10-8 round in round 5. I mean, yeah, that was the Ellis Corey special that we spoke about before the fight on WhatsApp.
Yeah, it woke me up, basically, that first round. Do you know what I mean? It made me get straight on my game plan. And Rod's been saying to me the whole camp, listen, concentrate. You've got to be 100% focused, because if you have one little lapse in concentration, it can go horribly wrong. So that made me switch on to 110% from that moment. So it was, I mean, listen, it's a lesson learned, but like you say, it made me box perfectly to the game plan that Rod had set at up until that body shot, which, I mean, you see what that body shot done to Ellis Corey. And, I mean, Louis Greene just took a knee and got back up on 8, and I just thought, oh, my God, how have you got up?
Yeah, but it was you who screamed instead of the opponent this time.
yeah, do you know, honestly, I could. But when he was on his knee, he was still breathing.
Yeah.
So I was looking at him thinking, mate, you're going to get up. I thought, oh my God. Like, I know how hard that shot is. And people said to me on the night, they said that shot echoed around the room. Jeez. Like, it was so loud when it landed, because it landed so sweet. And he just took a knee and just got up on 8. I thought, oh my God.
But yeah, that was when the odds did a U-turn. Then you became the favourite in play. I gave you round 6 as well. So I thought you had a fantastic few rounds from round 2 to round 6. Round 7, though, the last minute of that fight, Greene really put the pressure on him. For me, took that round. I thought that Louis Greene had looked tired for ages by that point. But in the 7th was when I noticed that you seemed quite tired. I remember thinking, how is this fight possibly going to go the distance? Do you remember that 7th round quite well, Sam?
Yeah, so what had happened at that point, I'd come off my boxing because of the knockdown. I was then loading up and trying to bang him out. Yeah. And obviously that tires you out a little bit more. And after the 7th, Rod got on me and he said, mate, he went, get back on your rhythm, stop trying to knock him out and box properly. He went, even almost have a rest round. Just flick, move, get back to your boxing. And when I started to relax and started to get back into my rhythm, that was when I started picking up the rounds again. But, round 7, I mean, I don't know whether it was the body shots that had like an effect, but if you watch the fight back, in his corner, I can't remember what round it was, his trainer said to him, how do you feel? And he said, I feel tired. Yeah. So, but obviously he does put a lot into his shots, do you know what I mean? But I was really surprised. I mean, it's the first time I've been 12 rounds, and I actually felt more comfortable doing 12 than I've done in some 10-rounders. Yeah. So I felt really comfortable in there.
And round 8 and 9 I gave to Greene, and I wrote on my notes at that point, I said the tide is starting to turn. Greene had gone back into favourite in play. Obviously in round 10, he barely threw a shot, and it seemed like you kind of got this second wind, and you definitely won 10 and 11. But
do you know what? Maybe that was when Rod said, have a rest round, get back on your boxing. Maybe it was that one, because I remember after he told me that, I won a couple of rounds. Yeah. So I can't remember what round he told me, but it might have been then. But because he had 10 and 11. It was like he had it off. Yeah, he didn't really do a lot.
And then in round 12, where did that come from?
But that was what I was expecting, because I knew he was just going to go, because he'd had 10 and 11 off. I knew he was just going to go hell for leather in the last round, because by that point he'd let me rack up a few points, and yeah, I was really surprised he had them 2 championship rounds off. But then in them rounds where I was relaxing, I was thinking, listen, you've got to save a little bit for the 12th, because he's going to come out like a train. So I had to be wary, even when he weren't doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? Because I know that he's trying to put things in place for a couple of rounds' time. But yeah, there was a lot going on while I was in there.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were expecting that in the 12th, because me watching it at home, I couldn't believe, he come out like a rocket. I thought, wow, he's really saved it, for a big 12th, obviously leaving it all in the ring. Yeah. But yeah, honestly though, Sam, that was such a mature performance. I'm so happy for you. And that was your coming out party at 154. I think you said it in the past that you'll be a different fighter at 154. And I think on the weekend, you properly rubber stamp that now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've completely grown into the weight now. I've still the English title and that was my first I've arrived as a proper solid fighter. Do you know what I mean? I'm ranked number 3 in the country now, and number 17 in the world. So that, like you say, that is a coming out party fight, and like everyone at Sky, everyone at Boxer was really impressed, and they was over the moon with the fight. So yeah, it puts me on the map even more now. So I'm excited for what they'll have next for me.
And also, you made reference to it a couple times already in this interview, but a massive shout out to Rod in the corner as well. I thought his advice was spot on whenever they had the microphone in the corner. Just at times, he was just simply saying to you in the corner, don't get greedy, don't get stupid. And when he said it, I felt he was spot on. I think he did a tremendous job as well in the corner. I really do.
Yeah. He almost knows what he's talking about, Rod. You know what? Even now, I'm 18 fights in with him. And I still can't, because when I first met Rod, I was one of these fighters that thought, if you haven't boxed, you can't be a coach. Right? If you've never been in there. But Rod has put that so wrong to me, because he can detach himself from the madness that's happening in the ring and in the crowd, and he can calm situations. and just give me simple bits of advice like that, but they're so effective. I don't know how he does it, but he's a special trainer.
Yeah, I think your chemistry is really, really good. It really works well. And I think he's very honest, very straight to the point. It can just be simple, short instructions, but they're bang on. The scorecards, Sam, were very wide in the end. My card home, I was going to say my card at home was 115, 112 for you. Obviously, the judges, 116, 111, 117, 110, 118, 110. I was going to say, did you think it was a bit too wide? Definitely. What did you score it at all when you watched it back?
A little bit out of order. Yeah, no, I did think that was a little bit wide. Listen, it was they're tight rounds, but obviously Louis had some decisive moments. I had the knockdown, but yeah, I had it a little bit closer than the judges. I mean, I'm not going to moan about what the judges scored it, but yeah, I had it a little bit closer, if I'm going to be honest.
And also, it's a damn shame sometimes in boxing when two shows clash. I was watching your fight on the TV, and I was watching the DAZN card on my iPad. And your missus obviously does work with DAZN. During your fight, I think she was live on DAZN interviewing Jack Catterall. And I think it was Jack Catterall. And I thought, damn, like, she's obviously not at York Hall with you. What was that like? And I'm guessing she obviously probably wasn't watching the fight live.
So she had the fight on in the first round. Then when I got buzzed, she panicked. She turned so I think every time I had a bad round, she must have had the fight on. And then when I had a bad round, she'd turn it off. And then I'd put together like 2 or 3 good rounds. She missed all the good rounds, but watched all the bad ones.
Please say she saw the knockdown.
She was, no, but do you know what? I'm not sure whether she did, you know. But, because, because I told her not to watch it. Because I said, listen, you don't want it distracting you and your work. Because, listen, her career's, like, that's the job she's been wanting to get for ages. So her career's doing really well at the minute, as well as mine. So it's really important that she's on her game when she's there. So I said, listen, if the worst does happen, you don't want to be watching it, and then you've got a face like you've got a bad face while you're doing interviews and stuff. But no, she was. I think she was getting like thumbs up, thumbs down from people at ringside and stuff like that. So but it was weird for me. I mean, she bought me a little cardboard cutout of herself to take to the changing room, so she was with me. But yeah, it was weird, and hopefully it don't clash too many more times. But I mean, I FaceTimed her straight away, and she was over the moon.
So yeah, she missed all the good bits. So maybe when she's watching, you don't perform so good, but when she's not watching, you perform better. Maybe she shouldn't watch the next one, Sam.
Maybe it's her fault. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But back to all seriousness, after such a brilliant fight, it's always classy to see two guys embrace and show great sportsmanship. It was on display Saturday. Great stuff to see between you and Louis at the end of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, me and Louis had got on the whole fight week, the whole build-up, the whole, like, listen, we're two professionals, and at the end of the day, that's what we do for a living. So there was no reason to be bad blood. Me and Louis went back to the hotel. We had a beer after. We had a chat, and yeah, like, I wish him all the best in the future. Who knows what's going to happen down the line? But yeah, he's going to be a tough opponent for anyone that he fights.
Yeah, I agree. And am I going overboard by saying that this could be a contender for Fight of the Year? Because it looked like that to me.
I mean, listen, it could be up there, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But because there's been some absolute crackers this year. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I've been in with a shout for that for a couple of times. So yeah, I'm never in boring fights. I think that's the lesson after this one. So yeah, people are starting to notice that now.
Well, it certainly stole the show. And I wanted to ask, obviously, it's very, very early, but what is next? What do you want to do? Obviously, you've got Samuel Antwi, the British champion. I don't know if you've got one eye on that. But yeah, what do you want to do?
Yeah, no, I want the British, but somehow or another, Jack McGann's been slipped in as an opponent. So even though this was a final eliminator for a British, but so I suppose I'm going to have to let them fight, and maybe I'll have a defence at the start of the year, because I've just got to, like I say, obviously I'm in bits at the minute. My hands are hurting, everything, so I need to let everything heat up, and then I can get back in the gym and hopefully get a defence in at the start of the year, and then fight the winner of that. But yeah, that's what if that becomes available next, I'll be jumping at that straight away.
There we go. And just lastly, my last real question to you. A good fight that's been made in the division. I was going to say domestically, but actually no. But Kevin Agyarko against Troy Williamson. Decent little fight that, Sam. How'd you see that one going?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Troy's got left of the weight. That's my only problem. Listen, the best Troy Williamson beat, I believe, wins that. But it's all down to how much Troy can pull out of himself at the weight, because he's a big lad. But I wish them both all the best, and may the best man win.
Yeah, should be a good one, like I say. And just finally, mate, before we let you go, if you've got any closing words just to the listeners, if you want to sign out with a little message, take it away, man. The floor's yours.
No, just hope everyone has a nice Christmas and that, and I'll see you all again in the new year.
There we go, short and sweet from the new Commonwealth Super Welterweight champion. Listen, Sam, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. Congrats again on this amazing win. Thanks for your time, and we'll speak again soon.
Cheers, mate. Top man.